afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this nice, warm room. I want to welcome everyone's present this afternoon, and on behalf of the board and the superintendent, we appreciate your presence and involvement with our school district. Our regularly scheduled board meetings are a time for the Board of Education, the superintendent, and selected staff to conduct important business of the school district within a transparent and public format. To ensure our meeting goes smoothly, professionally, and efficiently, we ask that everyone maintain an appropriate level of decorum. Please abstain from any conduct that would be disruptive or disrespectful. We ask our students and families and those who joined us this evening to celebrate special recognitions or recommendations to remain with us until all acknowledgments and board comments have been made. After our board comments, we'll take a short break to allow anyone to dismiss themselves from the remainder of the meeting if they so choose. At this time, if you would please silence your cell phones or any other communication devices. Again, thank you for being here this evening to our regularly scheduled meeting. At this time, I would like to call upon Pastor Ben Wills of the Lewis Memorial and Marvin United Methodist Church for our invocation.
Thank you. Will you pray with me? Gracious and loving God, we thank you for the gift of a new school year, for grace that goes before us, making all things new. Bless our superintendent, board members, administrators, teachers, staff, students, and families. Remind us that we are all part of one community, bound together by your love, called to seek the good of every child. Grant this board wisdom to lead with integrity, compassion, and vision. Guide their discussions by your Spirit. Strengthen our unity and help decisions reflect what is just, life-giving, and rooted in hope. Keep our schools safe, our classrooms filled with curiosity, and this year rich in growth for all. We pray this in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Next on our agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like to recognize and thank the JROTC cadets of Evans High School, led by Sergeant Major Doug Hitchie. Let me just introduce them, and then we will stand and let them lead us in the pledge. It's Antonio Amador, Nicholas Eisenbach, Elson Brock, Enrique Perez, Gabriel Perez, Miles Severing, and Skylar Silas. Thank you, and let's all stand.
Carry. Colors. Forward. March. Mark time. March. Left turn. March. Colors. Halt. Present. Arms.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Mark time. March. Right turn. March. Call left. March.
Thank you, cadets from Evans High School. Next, we entertain a motion to approve our agenda. All in favor, raise your hand. All right, our agenda is approved. At this time, I'll turn it over to our superintendent for special recognitions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, board members and special guests. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're looking forward to celebrating with you. This time I'll ask Dr. Carroll if she'll come forward and help me with the presentation. Dr. Carroll.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us to share these special recognitions. To all of our students and advisors being recognized this evening, please come forward when you are called and remain until your photo is taken. Family members that are here to support these students, please stand and be recognized when we call your student as well. We are excited to begin our special recognitions this evening by celebrating the outstanding achievements of two of our high school golf teams. At the conclusion of this past school year, both teams competed in the GHSA 5A state tournaments and delivered exceptional performances that brought pride to our schools and community. First, we recognize the girls' golf team and coaching staff from Greenbrier High School who demonstrated remarkable skill and teamwork throughout the season, ultimately securing an impressive third-place finish at the state level on the Sea Island Resort's seaside courses on St. Simon's Island. Please come forward when your name is called. Allison Barber, I believe she's not able to attend this evening. Sarah Grace Cribb,
Can you call that last name again?
Maddie Link, Addison Lukich, Maddie Saluric, Avery Simpson, Avery Vineyard,
I believe that was Benton.
I did say that incorrectly. Yes, Benton Vineyard, I apologize. Then their head coach is Casey Heckathorn. And assistant coach, Daniel Jordan. Next, we honor the boys golf team from Lakeside High School, whose dedication and competitive spirit also led them to a strong third-place finish in their state tournament at the Prime Lakes courses on Jekyll Island. Please join me in congratulating these talented student athletes and their coaches for their hard work, perseverance, and success on the course. We are incredibly proud of their accomplishments. Please come forward when you're called. Hamilton Coleman, he's unable to attend. Nick Flight. Brighton Moldova. Cooper Hawkins. Andrew Higgins. Tab Henson. Kazim Khan. Sam Rogers. Jacob Weaver. Bennett Wiggins. Peyton Wilkins. McCray Bella. Jack Dimian. And Lucas Rich. Head coach is Justin Crawford. And assistant coach Matt Scott. Principal Juliet King is assistant principal Dr. Tim Martin. goes to North Columbia Elementary, whose 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders are this year's recipients of the Georgia Department of Education John Hancock Excellence in Cursive Writing Award. Connects learners to history and supports essential cognitive development. The Georgia Department of Education is proud to honor schools that demonstrate excellence in cursive instruction. This award celebrates elementary, middle, and high schools that go above and beyond in teaching cursive writing, a skill that builds fine motor strength, enhances literacy, and allows students to engage meaningfully in historical texts in their original form. As part of Georgia's English Language Arts standards, cursive writing plays a vital role in preparing students for academic success and lifelong learning. We welcome Tanya Gambrell, Principal, and Tiffany Earle, Instructional Specialist, to accept this recognition. Congratulations. This concludes our special recognition program for this evening. I'll now turn it back over.
Thank you, Dr. Carroll. This time, please allow us to just briefly respond to some board comments this evening. Let me start to my far left, Ms. Katie Allen.
Well, first of all, thank you, Pastor Wills, for the nice blessing. It's always a good way to start off. And the athleticism of the teams, wow, that's really excellent. So great job. Thank you for allowing us to help celebrate with you tonight and being here. To the JROTC, I don't think they're in here anymore, but they did an excellent job, again, starting off the meeting in good form. So thank you for that. And then cursive handwriting, I just want to echo everything that was said and how important it is and how wonderful it is that we're excelling in that in our school district, because it really does connect us to history and being able to read those historical documents in their authentic form. So just wonderful things in the district, and thank you all so much for all your hard work and for the parents standing behind you and the community helping in the background to make it all possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. Mr. Pitt, Philip Pitt, District 1.
Hamilton must out sign autographs still, as you should be. But congratulations to the golf teams. We're sticking to the tradition and legacy of this area in golf and excellence. Pretty awesome. How many returning next year on both teams?
I have 10.
10? Wow. What's the total on each team?
Boys, I try to keep around 14.
Yeah.
14.
So it's gonna be a good team again. But that's great. Congratulations. Cursive writing, I love that we're still doing that. I truly believe that when you write it and you write it quickly, it connects better to the brain, you retain it. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. And Ms. Judy Teasley.
There's not a whole lot left to be said other than to echo the thanks that we all feel. We appreciate all of your efforts, students, coaches, parents. It does not escape my notice that both golf championships were played at the beach. I don't think most of the athletes are aware of. Y'all can keep that on the down low. Otherwise, you'd have a much larger tryout, I'm certain, for golf. But that's pretty awesome. Y'all did an outstanding job in representing Columbia County School District well. We do appreciate it. It's going to be a great year. Thank you for all the work y'all have been doing here. And we look forward, Susan, to see you back again next year to celebrate again. So carry on.
Thank you, Ms. Teasley. And to put a bow on it,
Okay.
it's Christy Baker.
Thank you, Pastor, for opening this up and invitation. Always appreciate that, and thank you for your words and your wisdom. We look forward to a great year. Thank you for that. To Evans, JROTC, they did a great job. It's always nice to have them here. That's something new we've started until the 4-Hers get back, so it's been well appreciated. Yeah, we appreciate that. To our golfers, I grew up in Clemson. That's home for me. Was there this weekend. Don't know if you played the course up there, but if you want to, maybe I can talk to some people and get you. They have a beautiful tiger ball on one of the holes. So thank you for all you do. Golf is just a wonderful, wonderful sport. Get you outside. I don't play. My family does. But congratulations on your win and your success. North Columbia, I think, was this the first year Cursive started? We had Superintendent Woods here, and he was introducing it when he was here earlier in the year. And I think this was the first year this award was granted to schools. So congratulations on that for being one of the first to receive an award from the state of Georgia.
just a word of warning on golf this time of year in Clemson, you have to beware of the livestock and usually cutting hay, so.
Hey, you can get over a cow, you're good.
I echo everything that was said. Congratulations to our fine representatives of Columbia County. By all accounts, I've heard that the beginning of school has been an excellent start, and so we are pumped, and I know our administration, our teachers are. I'll just conclude by recognizing our former board member who is here this evening, Mr. David Olaf, and I want to thank him for his service. You're always welcome. And we have a prior administrator, Ms. Michelle Sherman, here today as well. I want to recognize her and thank them for that. With that, we'll take a short pause, and if anyone would like to hit the driving range, go home and dinner, you're welcome to exit to your right. We're going to leave the doors open or close? Whatever y'all feel is best. Okay, next on our agenda is approval of consent items.
Make a motion to accept the consent items.
Second? All in favor of approval of consent items 7A through D, please raise your hand. All right, those are approved, and I'm sorry I got ahead of you, Dr. Flint, but we took care of that.
Absolutely, you take care of business, that's it. You're ready to go, but fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know how you feel about it, but they did get the unit up and going, so it should be cooling off. But there's a water temperature sensor actually going bad, but they were able to put it on manual for the rest of the evening, so we'll get that worked on hopefully later in this week. With that, I'm going to just introduce the school improvement update. We've got a couple of really good pieces of information to bring to you tonight. One, though, that I would like to just say a few words about before Dr. Carroll kind of goes into that is the results on the milestones. This is that time of year where the state data comes back. I know it was a little late getting you some of that information, but it was embargoed until Friday, and so then we had to analyze it and make sure the numbers were right. So hopefully we got it all right on our slides, transferring all that data. But what I will say about it is it's extremely, extremely positive. We've seen a trend of this over the last couple of years at all grade levels, most notably at elementary school. We're seeing even more at middle school this year. Just can't say enough about the schools and their focus. Also the board's focus on that area of student achievement. As you know, we started the work on the school data profile and kind of honing in on some of those specific areas we wanted to focus on, and our folks have done a great job with it. And it's happening in the classroom, and I think the data is going to show the results. And even though we use aggregate data here, we are very interested in how far down that data goes, and that would be to the individual child. And so as you hear from Dr. Carroll and Mr. Cummings and our principals, they're actively doing that. And so data isn't just in the aggregate form, it actually shows up where the students are, and then we either take action one way or the other to adjust that at the student level. So again, thank you for taking the time to let me say those words. And I'm going to turn it over first to Mr. Cummings, and then he'll turn it over to a couple other folks after that. But thank you all for all the work you're doing. Looking forward to hearing more about it.
Good evening, everyone. As you mentioned, Mr. Deacle, we have had a great start to the school year, so I would just like to elaborate on some of the things that's happened, and I'm happy to share in that. I'll start off with, we started with our new teacher induction. So for the start of the 25-26 school year, we were thrilled to welcome 196 new teachers to Columbia County School District. And what was really exciting about that, 35% of those teachers are graduates of Columbia County School System, which was 69 teachers. We thought we were really proud of that. Our teachers had an opportunity to be paired with experienced mentors to support classroom management and instructional practices. They also had an opportunity to get a jump start on their new classroom. As you guys, prior to open house, they said they really appreciated that opportunity. They also partake in a 3-day professional development, which allowed them an opportunity to just hear from various departments and the things that they'll need to get school started. As we transitioned to, after we concluded the new teacher induction, of course we had open house. Our schools created a welcoming, informative, and engaging experience for our families, what we consider to be another successful open house. Our parents were able to tour the schools and acknowledge recent improvements where they were available. They also were given opportunities to sign up for volunteers for various events, as well as given clear communication tools on how to access the teachers when they need to stay updated on a variety of things. Also, the first day of school, it proved to be very successful. A lot of smiling faces and teachers and staff as they greeted students at the doors. Bus riders and car lines were very smoothly thanks to effective communication. Minus a few hiccups here and there. There was clear signage, and our staff were awesome in setting that start of the school year up. Our kindergartners, with their parents, they bravely entered the doors and had a great transition once they kind of got through some of the tears. But that was a good start as well. Also, classroom expectations. When we went into classrooms, teachers were setting those classroom expectations using their PPIS guidelines. They had morning meetings and just a lot of fun routines to get the students back acclimated to school from the summer. Our attendance and lunch systems ran smoothly, and the dismissal was very efficient and safe, thanks to great staff teamwork. In our high school, our students did a great job with engagement and instruction without the use of cell phones. And our administrators were very visible throughout the school day, checking in on transitions and just making sure that the teachers and students felt supported. So all in all, we are very fortunate that we're off to a great start. We want to thank all of our staff, students, and families for making the first week of school a success. We look forward to a year of growth, learning, and as our theme for this year, inspiration. I'd like to invite our principal from Martinez Elementary School, Dr. Smith, to come and just share her perspective from Martinez on the first week of school. So, Dr. Smith.
Good evening, board members. I got the pleasure today to be able to talk a little bit about first day of school, and boy, was it exciting, even with the rain. We had an incredible start we've had to the school year. We kicked things off with a powerful district-wide welcome back event. My teachers rushed to the stage to get a photo with our guest speaker because they were just that inspired by them. We had an awesome time where the paraprofessionals, custodians, and staff, we were able to invite everyone there to be a part of that, and we were able to remind them of our shared mission of being able to inspire the next generation. On the first day of school, our halls came alive with excitement. It was like we opened the doors, and it was like, here we go again, an opportunity to just impart it to our students. Students walked in with bright smiles, they greeted their peers and teachers, families were able to come in and just welcome in. We had music going and all those great things, so it was just a great experience and opportunity. Our buses arrived on lot of time. Even our sped buses who maybe time past years ago might have had challenges, but now they're on it, and that was a great experience as well. And every student was able to eat breakfast, they had lunch on time. You would think it was already the next few weeks of school, like school had been going, because everything got there so quickly. Every student made it home safely, which is always the number one goal on day one, and already look forward to the next day. This smooth and joyful beginning is a testament to the dedication of our entire school community. Our goal to inspire is already in motion, not only for our staff, but our students are inspiring us every single day. We are looking forward to making this year one great connection and inspiration at Martinez and all across our district, I'm sure, through my peers. And we thank you for being a part of our incredible journey. Thank you.
Okay, now for the student achievement update. Good evening again. I'm really excited tonight to be able to share the 2025 Spring Georgia Milestones assessment data that we just received this past Friday, August 8th. We wanted to go ahead and share this data and provide you with a high-level overview of where we are as a district in each content area. The schools do receive preliminary data in the spring after the assessments are administered. However, we did just receive the official state data. The data compiled for this presentation came directly from the state and system summaries provided by the Georgia Department of Education. I will share the data in several ways to provide you with a good understanding of where our students are performing well and where we have some areas for improvement. You will see district yearly comparisons from 2022 to 2025, comparisons between the state, our RESA, and Columbia County, both developing learners and above, and proficient learners and above for each subject and grade level tested. A developing learner in Georgia is a student who is approaching proficiency in the knowledge and skills required for their grade level or course of learning, as defined by Georgia's content standards, and is considered passing, meaning students may need additional support at the next grade level or course. Proficient learners demonstrate proficiency in the knowledge and skills necessary at the grade level or course of learning, meaning students are prepared for the next grade level. Distinguished learners demonstrate advanced proficiency in the knowledge and skills necessary at the grade level or course of learning, meaning students are well prepared for the next grade level. The data you will see tonight is strong, and we are very proud of our accomplishments. However, we want to achieve higher in the proficient and distinguished category. We hold ourselves accountable to a higher level of achievement. The data will represent our performance in the areas of English language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. You will also see our performance as compared to districts with 1,000 or more students tested in a subject area and grade level. There are about 181 public school districts in the state of Georgia. The state shares data profiles, which include single small schools that are not represented as districts. These have been removed, and we use the larger districts for comparisons when we share data. We'll begin with language arts. This chart shows you the comparison between the state, CSRA RESA, and Columbia County in American literature and composition for developing learners and above. Developing learners, again, they're considered passing in the state of Georgia, and as you can see, we have 84% of our 11th grade students in this category of learners. I would also like to point out that CSRA RESA includes the 12 public school districts in the central Savannah River area. As you can see, we outperform in the proficient and distinguished categories. However, we strive to have more of our students performing in this category. This chart shows you how we compare to other districts with 1,000 or more students tested in American literature and composition. It is important to look at school districts who have more than 1,000 students tested in the grade and content area in order to give us a true measure of performance. Here we rank 6th in the state in American literature when compared to other school districts with 1,000 or more students tested, and continue to be as competitive as possible. This continues to be an area of growth that we are working on as a district. While we've maintained the same ranking as the previous school year, we did see growth in the overall percentage of students at the proficient and distinguished levels. This chart shows you the percentage of students on grade level and above for reading status for grades 3rd through 8th. The reading status indicator is based on student performance for the reading and vocabulary subset on the ELA assessment and is associated with Lexile scores. To achieve a reading status designation of grade level or above, a student must demonstrate reading skill at the beginning of the grade level, Lexile stretch band, or higher. You will notice our district average reading status is about 80%, which indicates the majority of our students are reading on or above grade level here in Columbia County. You will see very similar charts as I go through this presentation. This chart before you includes developing, proficient, and distinguished level learners' performance on the English Language Arts section of the Georgia Milestones assessment by grade level. All grade levels shown here increased from 2022 to 2025 or remained the same. Here we have 8th grade ELA for developing level learners and above. As you can see, we outperform the state and the CSRA RESA at 85%. This is 8th grade English Language Arts for proficient level learners and above. Here we rank 3rd in the state for 8th grade ELA when compared to other school districts with 1,000 or more students, which is up from a ranking of 7th in 2024. As you can see, our teachers have worked hard to provide strategies for improvement around teaching and learning. I also want to make a note that Forsyth County, who you will see at the top of the charts frequently, has a student population of around 20% free and reduced lunch, which is almost half of where we are here in Columbia County. Fayette is another school system that has a lower free and reduced population than we do as well. This is the 7th grade ELA for developing level learners and above, and again, we outperform the state and the CSRA RESA. Here's 7th grade ELA for proficient level learners and above. As you can see, our 7th graders continue to perform at a high level, with 59% of our students in the proficient learner and above category. Here we also rank 3rd in the state when compared to districts with over 1,000 students tested. We saw an increase of 3 percentage points in 7th grade English Language Arts compared to the previous year. You can see here how we compare in 6th grade ELA for developing level learners at about 82%, and we also continue to outperform the state and the CSRA RESA. This chart shows 6th grade English Language Arts for proficient level learners and above. Here you'll see how we compare against other districts with 1,000 or more students tested in the grade level and content area. Here we rank an impressive 3rd in the state for this comparison, and we continue to strive to improve our performance. This chart shows you the comparison for 5th grade ELA for developing level learners and above. 90% of our students in 5th grade are performing in the developing level and above. This chart shows you the comparison for 5th grade ELA for proficient level learners and above. As you can see, our 5th grade students continue to perform at a high level, with 65% of our students in the proficient level learner and above category. And here we outperform by almost 22%. We are very proud to share our 5th grade students ranked 1st in the state when compared to other districts with 1,000 or more students tested on the English Language Arts section. I would like to remind you that our free and reduced population is definitely higher, while Forsyth is a little bit lower than we are in Fayette. This chart here shows you the comparison in 4th grade ELA for developing level learners and above at an impressive 85%. Here you can see the comparison in 4th grade ELA for proficient level learners and above. And here we also continue to perform at a high level, with 61% of our students in the proficient learner and above category. This chart shows you how we compare against other districts with 1,000 or more students tested in 4th grade ELA. As you can see, we are 2nd in the state for this comparison. This chart shows you the comparison between state, CSRA, RESA, and Columbia County in 3rd grade English Language Arts for developing level learners and above. Again, reminder that the developing level learners are considered passing in the state of Georgia. Here we have 79% of our 3rd graders in this category. This chart shows you our 3rd grade English Language Arts for proficient level learners and above. This is really strong data, with almost 52% of our 3rd graders performing at this level. And as you can see, we are well above the state and CSRA RESA here. Our main focus is on proficient level learners and above when comparing ourselves to other districts, as we continue to increase student achievement at a high level. Our students have continued to show growth and progress at a faster rate than most other districts across the state. This chart shows you how we compare to other districts with 1,000 or more students tested in English Language Arts for 3rd grade. It is important to look at districts, again, that have more than 1,000 students tested in this grade and content area to give us a true measure of performance. Now I will share the mathematics data. Here you can see we outperform in the proficient and the developing and above categories. However, we strive to have more of our students performing at the proficient and distinguished level. We outperform in the proficient and distinguished categories, and again, we continue to encourage our students to take the most rigorous courses offered. This is for algebra. We want our 8th grade students to take this course as much as possible so that they can carry that over to 9th grade when they start high school. We ranked 8th in the state for 9th grade algebra concepts and connections when compared to the other districts with 1,000 or more students, which is up from 12th in the state in 2024. This chart before you includes developing, proficient, and distinguished level learners' performance on the mathematics section by grade level. All grade levels shown here increase from 2025 to 2025 from 2022 to 2025 or remain the same except in 4th grade. As you can see, we outperform the state in CSRA Reset and the proficient and the developing and above categories with 90% of our students performing in this category. Here, we outperform in the proficient and distinguished categories with 65% of our students performing in this category. We are proud of the continued growth in 8th grade math. We saw almost an increase of 16% from 2024. This chart here shows you how we compare to other districts with 1,000 or more tested in the grade level and content area. As you can see, we rank 3rd. Here you can see we outperform the state in CSRA Reset and the proficient and the developing and above categories for 7th grade math. We outperform again in the proficient and distinguished categories with 59% of our students performing in this area, which is an increase of almost 3 percentage points from 2024. This chart shows you how we compare to other districts with 1,000 or more students tested in the grade level and content area, and again, we rank 3rd in the state. As you can see here, we outperform the state in CSRA Reset and the developing and above categories, with 88% of our students performing here for 6th grade math. We also outperform the state in CSRA Reset and the proficient and distinguished categories, and of course, we strive to have more students performing in this category. We did see an increase of almost 2 percentage points from 2024 to 2025 in this area. Here you will see we rank 3rd in the state for 6th grade math when compared to other school districts with 1,000 or more students tested, which is up from 4th in the state in 2024. As you can see here, we outperform in the proficient and distinguished categories for 5th grade math. And here again, we continue to outperform in the proficient and distinguished categories with 68% of our students performing here. We saw an increase of almost 8 percentage points from 2024 to 2025 in 5th grade math. This chart again shows you how we compare to other districts with 1,000 or more students tested. We're proud to share that only one county here performed higher in this category. Again, we outperform the state in Reset in the proficient distinguished categories. 91% of our 4th grade students performed in this category. As you can see here, we continue to outperform with 72% of our students in proficient and distinguished in 4th grade math. This chart here shows you how we compare to other districts with 1,000 or more students tested. As I've already shared, we strive to be number 1 and we're on track to make this happen. Again, we continue to outperform in the developing and above categories. We have 91% of our students here for 3rd grade math. For proficient and distinguished, we continue to outperform by almost 20%, with 64% of our students performing in the proficient and distinguished category. This chart here shows you how we compare to other school districts with 1,000 or more students tested. Here we moved from 4th in the state to 3rd in the state on this chart from 2024 to 2025. Again, you can see the progress that we're making throughout these slides. Now I will share all the science-related assessment data. This chart here shows 5th grade science and biology from 2022 to 2025, along with high school physical science. As you can see, our students demonstrated an increase in 5th grade science and physical science. We did see a slight decrease in biology. However, these scores are still very strong, and we continue to strive to make gains in all areas of science. This chart shows biology for developing level learners and above, with 83% performing in this category. This chart here shows you the comparison in biology for proficient level learners and above, and we do outperform the state and CSRA Reset here as well. As you've seen throughout this presentation, this chart shows you how we compare against other districts with 1,000 or more students tested. Here we ranked 5th and continue to strive to improve in this area for high school biology. This This is 8th grade physical science for proficient level learners and above. For developing level learners and above. We saw an increase of 22 percentage points in this area from 2024 to 2025. This is 8th grade physical science for proficient level learners and above. As you can see, we outperformed. Whereas in 2024, we actually performed below the state. So we saw an increase of almost 25% in the proficient and distinguished categories from the previous school year. We're very proud of the progress that our teachers and students have made in this area. As you've seen throughout the presentation, this chart again shows you how we compare against districts with 1,000 or more students tested. Again, this is high school physical science, and we encourage our students to take the most rigorous courses possible in order to engage in the full high school experience when they enter 9th grade. This prepares our students to take higher level courses such as chemistry, physics during high school. Additionally, it allows our rising 9th grade students to take a high school credit if they should choose. We want to expose our students to the most rigorous courses possible in order to help them be more competitive in the future. Shown here is 5th grade science for developing level learners and above, and as you can see, we outperformed by almost 20%. This is 5th grade science for proficient level learners and above. We saw an increase here of almost 5 percentage points from 2024 to 2025, and we have 68% of our students performing at the proficient and distinguished levels. Again, this chart shows you how we compare against other districts with 1,000 or more students tested, and we are very proud to share that we rank number 1 in the state for 5th grade science, which is up from 2nd in the state in 2024. Next, we will take a look at social studies assessment data. This chart includes developing proficient and distinguished level learners' performance on the 8th grade social studies and U.S. history assessments. You will notice an increase in both of these areas. This chart here shows you the comparison for U.S. history for developing level learners and above, and we do outperform the state in CSRA RESA here with 79% in this category. This chart shows you the comparison for proficient level learners and above. And while we outperform the state in CSRA RESA, we recognize the need to continuously improve in this area. We were ranked number 5 in comparison, which is up from 8th in 2024. I would like to point out that students are also enrolled in advanced placement, international baccalaureate, and dual enrollment courses are exempt from participating in this particular assessment. This chart shows you the comparison for 8th grade social studies for developing and above, and we had 89% of the students fall in this category. Here we see 8th grade social studies for proficient level learners and above, with 60% of our students performing here. We saw an increase of just over 2 percentage points from this area in the previous year. Here you can see we rank 4th in the state when compared to other districts with 1,000 or more students tested. Now, I've just shared a great deal of information, so if you do have any questions, I would be happy to take those.
I just want to start off with a quick comment. Thank you so much. I really appreciate seeing this presentation that you separated the data. And I did add more slides, but I was glad to see it where you had the developing learners at the state counts, and you have a separate slide addressing the proficient learners. I think that's a really great way to kind of approach this. I'm really glad to see that the district is kind of looking at both of those categories, even though the second number is a little bit harder sometimes to look at. I'm really proud that our district is approaching it that way. So I just want to say thank you for that. The only question I really have is from 2022, is there data beyond 2022, or has the test changed? Are there any other variables? Are we looking at the same variables?
There have been adjustments to the assessment from previous years. We did share some data back last year at this time, and some of the data before 2022 is a little more difficult to analyze because of COVID and the impact that it had on the students at that time. There were years where we didn't take the assessment, but we can certainly look and see what we have and be able to pull some of that together.
I was just curious, and was it this year that it was implemented for the ELA test, kind of the new standards? Is this the result showing those new ones?
So this upcoming school year, the school that we're in right now, this is when the ELA standards.
Okay, so that's not in this data yet. Okay, good. And so just to kind of clarify that 2022 really is going to kind of be our base year for comparisons. If we were to look at, say, 2015, it wouldn't necessarily be the same test that we're comparing scores from. Okay. All right.
Do you know how many of the 181 school districts had students, more than 1,000 students taking these?
We can pull that information. I know that we pull some of the highest population districts to look at, but we can definitely go back and pull that information. Number?
Into the free reduced price lunch students, percentages of Fayette and Forsyth counties. But that was true of all testing, right?
That's correct. All school districts will have that. Those were just ones we noted since they were number 1 and number 2.
But I mean, for all the test results that we just looked at, for area, that percentage change stays the same in both grade counties.
Correct. That is right.
Where I'm going with this is 5th grade knocked it out of the park.
They did.
Okay, with the same percentage for free and reduced lunch.
That's right.
So what are they doing? And what do we need to, I mean, obviously all of our teachers are working hard. I don't mean to speak negative of anything anybody's doing, but 5th grade is apparently doing something really well. What is it, and can we transfer it to other grade levels?
And we also have to be a little bit careful with that because the tests aren't designed to be vertically aligned, so that's why we don't use that cohort data from year to year. In some cases we can, but most of these data we can't.
No, I understand the tests are not alike at all, but I'm just, they're prepared for the test, obviously.
Right.
And I know they're all using the ACAs.
Well, it also looked like that 2023 group, you looked at them at 2025, I'm assuming, they were strong in 2023 and they were pretty strong. I think, does that make sense?
It does. They kind of held that trend.
Yeah, they, that's what it looked like just now.
They have done well.
Carrying on, they're not dipping down.
And that's something that our schools really break down through their school improvement plans and their data analysis, and our curriculum teams really work closely with our schools to analyze that data and see what we're doing in the classrooms to make sure that the strategies that we have in place are working or not working so that we can make adjustments as needed.
Also mentioned, this was kind of the first look at it because as we work throughout this year, we'll be using this data with the schools will be breaking it down, they'll be making some adjustments at each of the levels. And so we'll be bringing you back. Some of the changes, even in the area of curriculum, may have to do, or probably will have to do with the results and some of the work we're doing with local schools.
And kind of something just, I mean, when's the last time we did a science adoption? So I mean, might be more familiar with the curriculum. But I also thought the U.S. history, considering the fact that more motivated students are not showing up for those results, is pretty strong. That's good work across the board.
That 22% was pretty eye-popping. I mean, again, I'll ask, maybe that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to contribute to that. That's a huge increase.
We do. I know our curriculum specialists, our instructional specialists, our teachers, they really dig into the state standards. And so the more that we do that, the more we align our curriculum and we align our instruction in the classroom to the standard, to that high level, and the more rigor we put in place, the stronger results we're going to see. But again, as Dr. Hunt said, these are results that we've really just gotten, and so being able to go back and take a look at that with our teams is something that we plan to do.
AP dual enrollment, IB. So, yeah, how many more would you say? I mean, do we offer more of those opportunities here than, say, other districts? Like, are we essentially leaving out some of the brighter kids more so than the other districts?
We're probably pretty similar to the ones we're comparing ourselves against in this data. We can pull the whole list, but a lot of those are also going to not have the opportunities that our students have in some schools. Some are actually just individual schools, so that's a real hard combination to compare ourselves against.
I think it's worth noting too that if you look at price per student for each of those districts, compared to ours,
and you know, we're looking at aggregate district data here. So as the schools get theirs, they're going to narrow it down to schools in the state. And you'll remember when we start to use that data with our schools, we take off the bottom 50% and only use the top 50% to compare ourselves to. which is a high bar, but it's also reasonable, we believe. So I think as we get down at the different levels, you'll see it very specific to maybe the school's needs or the classroom need, or maybe that one content area need. So a lot of work will be going into this over time, but we'll be doing that at those levels. So when I mentioned it may not be applicable here because the state on their district data uses a single school. Well, those single schools are going to show up in our regression data when we run it for the schools. And they'll be on there. So it's not that we're discounting them totally. We're just looking at similar districts right now.
I think the most important thing that's been said is that this is data that we're going to be using to continue to improve and to work on. This is not, hey, we arrived, we're just on our laurels, and we'll see you next year this time. This is information that our schools are going to drill down on, find weaknesses, we're going to address issues to continue to improve student achievement. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely, you're exactly right. And as Dr. Blunt mentioned, we drill it all the way down to the individual student at the school level.
And it looks like that trend is going up. I mean, we're seeing it in the elementary school, and it looks like middle schools is just growing and, great things. So can't wait to see next year's generation.
Can we pull it?
15 years ago where it wasn't this exciting.
Yes, exactly.
Can we pull up that mathematics slide real quick, the grade 3 through 8% developing learner and above?
I think it's 32, maybe.
It was a good summary slide, that's why I wanted to grab that.
I think it's 32.
It says mathematics, I believe it's the first mathematics slide. It says mathematics really large, percent developed.
This one?
Yep, that's the one. And so I'm looking at this, and just to, making sure I'm understanding what Mr. Deeple was saying, that when we look at this, we drill this data down to the individual school level, and that's where we really get the benefit from it, right?
That's right.
So, because there's a lot of fluctuation, some it's +7 and 8, which is fantastic, right? And then some is -1, which is, I'll take the 7 and 8s for sure. But when I look at that, my question is from a district perspective, how do we know, can we look at this kind of data and attribute it to any district-wide decisions that have been made that either kept us kind of at the same level that weren't necessarily effective or were very, very effective? Can we attribute this data from district level to district decisions and policies, or is it really just you have to go to the individual schools to see?
Lack of electronic devices last year.
I think it all is very important. I mean, we just talked about the board's importance in focusing on student achievement, so we don't discount that. But it is all in a package. It's kind of like that three-legged stool. If you take one of the legs off there, it's not going to stand up very well. And so, yeah, I think there's an importance at the board level. There's an importance at the district level. We know the highest level of student achievement gains happens in the classroom. We know that. So we're going to help focus in the classroom. But don't discount that the principal has a very big impact, and the district office, as well as the board attention to that, has an impact. And so just the fact that we're able to, through resources, provide professional development around an ACE curriculum that was developed aligned to the state standards from our teachers, not from us to the teachers, I think that's made an extremely big impact. Now, was it as big as what the teachers did in the classroom? Probably not, because we know that's the biggest place for academic achievement increases. But I don't think we can discount it, for sure. And we know that from historical data. We can look at the greatest school districts that have seen these increases. And I would venture to say, we haven't been able to do this at the state level, but these are some of the largest increases, not only in 1 year, but in the last 2 or 3 years, than most districts have seen across the state. This is not typical. You're not going to see a 22% increase or a 16% increase. These are a little bit special, and they're not going to continue to go that way. I mean, we're hitting a little bit of a ceiling here, but we still have a little ways to go. And so we're going to focus on those areas, especially that are a little bit lower.
I think just where my confusion is if we have a district level policy, I would look at this and say, wow, something something was very successful for 8th grade and for 5th grade, but that same policy was not successful for grades 3 and 4. Are we able to distinguish between the two so that we can continue doing what was very successful at all levels from the school all the way up to the district with the different initiatives that we do, but at the same time isolate which ones were not successful so that we don't keep doing them and devoting resources to it? Is that in the realm of possibility, or is that too high level to where it's just at the school level?
No, I think it's very important. I think if we go back to the policy that we just approved, we also understand that a level of higher achievement than we're kind of at right now is going to take a level of innovation that's going to happen at the school level. And so from y'all, that's a policy that now we're going to be operational with. And so we're asking our schools, if the school has made it to the line of progression, we're going to ask them to start looking at ways to innovate to get that achievement even higher. But if they haven't made it there, there's some stuff in the box that we're not doing. So policy, procedure, the ACE curriculum, that's in the box stuff. And we have to do in the box extraordinarily well before we innovate. And that's what the policy says, and that's where we're going with it. And that'll make the difference, because we'll be coming back from the classroom.
Fully support you on that. You have done an excellent job with that, just the way you bring the data. And I know we've talked about how we've deep dived and looked at the schools, and you've done the analyses and passed this policy now. So I think that's really excellent work, and we're really going to see fruit from that.
Is there a particular school in the 5th grade, for example, that just really made this 7-point spread? Is there a particular school that just really blew it, did great?
We have a lot of them, and a number of those they'll be coming here with different awards, and we'll be sharing some of that over the year. And we can also share more of that as we get into some specifics, but kind of today, we didn't want last week's press release to come out, and then all of a sudden we had a board meeting tonight, we didn't say anything about it. This is really good stuff, so we have a long way to go to kind of break it down and figure out what the artist level.
Thank you. For all your hard work.
All right. Anything else? Thank you, Dr. Carroll.
It was a great discussion. Thank you, board members. As we look through those lists, I've been very fortunate. Two of those schools that we see frequently a little bit above us have been able to work with those superintendents for many years now, and we have fun conversations about this. So I've already heard from them.
Not competitive, are you?
We are very competitive, so it is fun, and it's the same thing our principals across the district do. It is something that keeps you into the game and really looking at what you can do. We can look at some of them, and I know they're looking at us and asking what we're doing. A number of school districts across the state have asked that, so we're fortunate to have other people in the district doing a lot of the good work we are. So hopefully we're leading the state on that effort. Okay, let's move on into the building program. This is a picture of North Columbia Elementary School. We're going to be having the ribbon cutting next week. You can see it's pretty much finished. We'll still be doing some punch-out work and some replacement of things that may not have been up to our standard. But the school is beautiful, and the children and the staff are really enjoying it. And I think Ms. Gambrell's here. But, you like it, don't you? It's beautiful.
I love it.
You've been smiling all year, yeah. Moving on to Lakeside, here's the finished Performing Arts Center. They were able to have activities with staff and students in there. They have had some special activities at the beginning of the school year. It is a beautiful site, and so that's finished up. The band room and the chorus room in the back, along with some art rooms, are done on this side. You can see it matches with the building well. On the right side here are many of the other new classrooms, many very nice science classrooms in there. And then you can see the front coming together with a roof on there. And that's where the cafeteria will be, and the kitchen, and the expansion of the media center. And then on the back, there's the foundation has been started on the gym, although this week's been a little bit rainy. So not a lot of that. Dr. Martin's still in here? Did he leave? Anyway, he was here. They're having a good time out there with those new classrooms. They were able to move into those this year, and it's beautiful, and the kids are enjoying it. And the trailers are gone from the back, so that's great. Evans High School, they haven't moved into theirs, so we're still under construction on the left side with the performing arts in the back, where the rooms, where the band and chorus rooms are. And then we have just next to that, though, if you kind of go down to the right on the back of the school, those CTAE labs, most of those have been completed. There are some areas where students aren't right now that we're still working on and will go on for the next year or so. But the welding lab and some of the automotive lab and the JROTC areas are beautiful back there. And then if you go all the way over to the right side of the school, you see the new gym, cafeteria, and a new classroom wing in between those two. We did get in and renovate many of the classrooms throughout the school and did many upgrades. And so they've gotten back into the school, and I can't say enough about staff at both Evans and Lakeside. You know, these summer projects cut it very close, and it's still a little dusty, and they have to put up with moving furniture and things like that. But the staff all had just a great attitude, and so kudos to them on both schools. Some more pictures. That's the front of the Performing Arts Center. This is the back where you see the band and chorus rooms, and then the renovated welding and CTA labs. And then the back side where the dining area and classroom additions are going to be. This is a picture of the batting cages. The foundation has been laid on this. You can see them still working on that a little bit. The building's scheduled to be delivered next week. So they're well on their way there. This time we do have a resolution to close out North Columbia Elementary School facility. This is an activity that is required from the Board of Education to remove the facility number from the state of Georgia roster. And we will be coming back to you, obviously, with some additional information about dealing with the building. But this one just officially closes out the old North Columbia number and opens the new ones already listed for the new school. So we recommend approval of this resolution at this time.
Okay, we have a recommendation from the superintendent that the board approve the resolution to close the old facility. This is required by the state. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Seeing none, that passes. I'll sign the resolution.
Each year, we enter into an agreement with the CSR and RESA to provide services to help provide professional learning services, collaborative planning, workshops, and endorsements for staff. In front of you is the annual contract for membership fees and services. We'd like to recommend renewing this contract for membership and service with the CSR RESA in the amount of $187,094. As you know, the state of Georgia and the General Assembly have been passing a number of additional laws that have required some, not only staffing to go through RESAs, whether you like that or not, that's where it's happening. And so to receive those services, we are going to need to continue this. We get a lot more than one position, but we were allotted one entire new position this year that is through the CSR RESA. And so along with a lot of other additional professional developments, that's just one area that we benefit from. So we recommend approval of this bid.
Have a question?
So moved.
Any discussion?
I just want to clarify, am I correct in understanding the state of Georgia does require us to be part of RESA?
Yes, to get the services and to get the benefits.
I read that, but I just want to clarify that I read that correctly.
The price, $880,000, has it gone up dramatically over the years?
Yes, it has gone up a little bit. Just last year, it went up about just under $45,000. But that's also, you know, because they've been required to hire additional staff to support us in a number of additional ways. So I think we get a large benefit from our RESA. I'm sure others do too. We're very fortunate to have very quality folks that lead that, retired educators and others. So they do a very good job. And I would recommend doing this even if we didn't have to.
And that amount, my understanding is that amount is based on student population.
That's correct. Yeah.
So all the other counties, they're billed in proportion to their number of students.
That's right. Right.
Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Seeing none, that's approved.
Okay, we're to that most favorite time of year, especially for Ms. Jackson and others. I won't steal all of her thunder, but every year we present some calendars. We try to get a lot of feedback for a lot of different areas, and Ms. Jackson's done a fantastic job. She's going to highlight some of that and give you the options, and then hopefully we'll be able to come back at the next meeting and get approval for next year's calendar. So, Ms. Jackson.
Thank you. Good evening. As you know, preparing for the success in education begins well before the school year starts. So tonight I'm here to present the process and some options we're proposing for next year's, the 2026-2027 school year calendar. After receiving some feedback from stakeholders, we waited until this school year started to present the calendar for next year because it was becoming confusing to others. They were kind of working off both calendars. And so we waited and paused until August. We're in session and now we're presenting the options for next year. The process to develop the 2026-27 school year began last March. Last March, the school calendar advisory team made up of parents as well as school administrators and district personnel and teachers met to begin the process of developing the school calendar. We had a new member this year, a teacher, join our group, and I just wanted to share her thoughts. Ms. Weidman couldn't be here. She's a teacher in our district, but she sent an email because she was so excited about it to Dr. Flint and myself after the process. But she said, each year I study the school calendar and often wonder whether teachers have a voice in their development, whether anyone is there to present our perspectives. So I was genuinely surprised to learn how pivotal certain dates are in determining the first day of school as well as the last day of school and various holidays, how they fall. And this insight was enlightening not only for me but for also my colleagues who had not considered some of the factors that go into shaping a calendar. She said, I truly appreciate the opportunity to ensure teacher voices are a part of the conversation. And we heard very similar throughout the process from our parents as well about the process and having input. Our next step will be to get feedback. We'll start that process tomorrow. It'll run August 13th through the 22nd. We will solicit feedback from our parents and our staff members on the calendar options drafted by the advisory team. We'll put it out on the website, certainly for the parental input, and then we'll also send it out to each staff member in our district. As you know, there are a lot of requirements that a school calendar must meet. We must provide 190 days of instruction to our students each year, and our teachers must work a minimum of 190 days with an additional 10 days for staff development, professional learning, and work days.
I think you said 190 days of instruction, but you meant to say
180 days for instruction, thank you. 180 days for instruction and 190 days for teachers. In addition, we have set federal holidays, we observe, and we have seasonal breaks that our folks have become accustomed to, that we provide our students and staff, as well as at least one early release each semester for parent conferences. Traditionally, our district has ended first semester before Christmas, prior to winter break, and second semester we try to end before Memorial Day. With these parameters in mind, the calendar advisory team drafted 3 options that you see before you, and certainly when they go out, they'll be in a different format individually so folks can really see what's in front of them. At our next board meeting, I will update you on which calendar is preferred from the feedback and input we received from parents and staff members, and ask for approval for the 2026-27 school calendar. Are there any questions at this time?
Can you want us to look at it and ask questions next time, or is there one difference between the 3? I'm just looking at most of it's the same, but you might have one day, is it the only day difference in February, and then again?
Well, first semester is the exact same on all 3 because it's a very tight calendar working backwards from Christmas. Second semester, you do have a few options there with winter break ending. January 1st happens to be on a Friday, which makes it interesting. So that gives staff members another weekend and students. And then Monday, one of the calendars has teachers returning on that Monday, and then the other two have them returning on that Tuesday with students starting Wednesday. Also in February, the President's Day holiday, that's a difference in two of them versus one of them. And then the rest of it's pretty much the same except for the end, because Memorial Day next year is going to be late. So two of the calendars has us ending second semester on a Tuesday, with put graduation on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday rotation, and open up Memorial Day holiday. And then one of the calendars has us going traditional like we did this past 2 years, ending on a Wednesday in the semester and having graduation Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So those are it in a nutshell. All right.
Would it help parents, when we put this up for review, if you posted graduation dates? They would see the difference in the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as opposed to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday graduation.
We can certainly do that. Great idea. While I'm up here though, I'm going to take this time to give you a quick update on a few operational items this time of year. Bus routes are starting to settle in, and traffic patterns are starting to level out. As Mr. Cummings mentioned, Independence Day has occurred, and so our babies are now riding the bus more often. We have added one route to Harlem High School already, and we'll add one to Greenbrier and Evans High School this week sometime. We have been shifting routes to accommodate some of the areas where we've had a higher ridership than we've had in the past. So we just shift the routes around to accommodate that growth and balance loads. We have 11 driver candidates that start on August the 18th, which is exciting, and 3 are testing this week for their CDL. So that's a good number. We're doing our required active shooter drills this week. They must be completed by September 30th, but we are completing our drills earlier this year and utilizing our safe alert system. For practice, we felt like why wait? So we're going ahead and knocking those out this week. All staff members have been trained on utilizing the safe system, and that will continue. The training and the drills will continue throughout the year. As Mr. Cummings mentioned, we have had a good week with our high schools and the electronic devices with both consistency and compliance. Every high school I went to, which was all 5 of them last week, it was so wonderful to hear the principals talk about the students actually having conversations at lunch. And one of them even said they had some Uno cards out during lunch and not on their phones. So that was enlightening or inspiring to me to hear that. We will continue to work with students and teachers and students with various instructional needs that may come up. For example, some of our art, our AP classes, and some of our CTAE classes do have a need to take pictures and upload various items in the classroom. We're in the process of providing tablets to meet such requests that will be school issued. I know Brooke Smith is working with us with CTAE and some of those areas. It may take a little bit of time because we want to make sure we get the best device for logging into our network. But we will certainly seek, while we're continuing to seek input from our teachers on what they need in that classroom to make that happen. So that's an operational update. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms.
Ms. Jackson's been taking all the credit for this good calendar year. You know, the way the holidays end up helps with the calendar, but good job on the calendar. That's really good. It's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. Moving on to superintendent reports, the annual employee back to school kickoff took place on Friday, August 1st. We welcomed back more than 4,000 employees from across the school district. The event included highlights on the upcoming year, along with student performances and a guest speaker that was extremely well received. Special thanks to all of our staff who had a hand putting all of that together. It takes a lot of people to make that happen. You can see the photos in front of you. The annual event was a very good success and something that we look forward to each year. Moving on to the ribbon cutting ceremony that I mentioned earlier. Next week, we'll hold the building dedication and ribbon cutting ceremony to celebrate the opening of the new North Columbia Elementary School. The community is welcome and invited to attend and tour the beautiful building. Thanks to Ms. Gambrell and her staff for doing such a great job getting the new space prepared for our students and their families, and we're looking forward to that next week. The rest of the information listed are dates of events. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Flint. This evening, we have 5 individuals who have signed up for public participation. Stated in Board Policy BCBI, public participation in board meetings. We ask that you provide your intended comments while refraining from any derogatory remarks. We also ask that our audience show proper decorum by listening respectfully and avoiding any actions or comments that may distract from the speaker's time and remarks. Our first public participant is Ms. Priscilla Bent.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Priscilla Bentz. I'm a concerned citizen here, and I appreciate you listening to me here. I talked to you a couple of years ago about pornography and obscenity in some of the library books. So that's what I'm back here talking about, because we have good news. We have something called TakeBackTheClassroom.com. It's a national group of volunteers that review books, and they've got 32 of the books that we have in our high schools on their list that they've reviewed. And so a group of us this summer met and reviewed their reviews. And so we wrote those up for you so that you can see the reviews that have already been done. This would prevent parents from having to go through that arduous process of challenging and then meeting with the staff, and it would save hundreds of hours, of administrative staff, teacher staff. And I've discussed this a little bit with your media specialist, Ms. Gamble, and Ms. I'm blanking, okay, anyway. I've spoken with the Board of Education media specialists on this, and then the citizens met this summer when we did that. And also I gave you, because I didn't get to speak to you last month, which I had hoped to do, I gave you a copy of the speech that I'd written last month, because there are a lot of different things that have come down to encourage this type of activity. That you would have good support as far as making a decision to let these reviews count as a challenge. So it would cut a lot of red tape. You'd have 32, for example, this year, you would have those 32 challenges already done, the reviews done, and you would just, your decision would be to allow the school and the media specialists to be able to do that without having to bring each book individually along these steps that I tried that like 3 years ago. And it's just, I would never have done it as a parent. You just don't have time to do that when you're working and having your kids in school. So I'm going to give you a packet of information. Can you think of any questions?
All right, thank you, Ms. Vince. Yeah. Okay. All right. Our next public participant, and I failed to say this, and apologize that each participant was limited to 3 minutes. And Ms. Vince, you did not overdo your time. Our next public participant on the list is Jessica Fisher.
Good evening, Board. Well, I don't agree with the whole book thing. Trust me, the stuff that, the behaviors that the kids are exhibiting at the schools have nothing to do with books. Maybe if they picked up some books, they wouldn't be doing what they do in school. They're not learning it from a book, I can assure you. This year's thing is Inspire. I just want to let you know that the cell phone thing is going over very well with the teachers. The teachers are so happy with this policy, and it is being backed by the administration, so that is good. The teachers are excited, the kids are talking, they're communicating. Now, if only we could get this across the board with communication and transparency with your other policies, we might be #1 district in Georgia. We need to really crack down on the bullying. And I think this is some reason why we are not #1 in academics. You cannot learn when you have children bullying other children in the classroom. And the reason why I think it's so elementary is catapulting is because you hit it hard in elementary school. It doesn't seem to be, I mean, there is some, but it's not as crazy and outlandish as it is in middle school. Obviously is the worst years. And I think that's the area you need to crack down on is the bullying in middle school. I mean, you have kids already assaulting other kids. You already have kids bringing knives into school already this year. How do you expect someone to learn? I had already withdrawn my daughter after the first day of school out of middle school. It is so, and it's because there is no transparency and communication. And that is the gist of it. We have to all agree we will not tolerate this, just like we did with something simple as a cell phone policy. It worked. Everybody loves it. Everybody backed it. And look what happened. We have to do the same thing with all your policies to make this the #1 district. I also would like to, I know that you guys have a building meeting coming up. I would like to, for you guys to maybe think about maybe doing some trade schools or maybe just an ESE school. Because some kids, I think, would do better in just an ESE school. You put all your ESE specialists in that one school, and you don't have to worry about, are we going to have paras? Are we going to have certified? They're all right there in the one school with all the programs, and they might be able to jump back and forth to the same, programs because it's all in one building. And also the trade schools. Some kids are not college bound. They're more hands-on. They want to go be an electrician. They want to be construction, vet, whatever. You bring your local employers in with you to pair with you. You get that local veterinarian to come pair with you. Bring our students into their offices. Give them the hands-on training they need. You will have a well-adjusted student. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next public participant, it's a couple, forgive me, I think it's LaVale and Narissa McKinney. All right, are you Narissa? Ms. McKinney, welcome. You have 3 minutes to address the board.
Absolutely. Good evening. Reason for me attending tonight is because I ran into an issue. School just started last week. I have a junior who is in a dual enrollment program, and she doesn't drive. She's 15, so she can't have a license. So she attended, but she got on the bus like normal because she has to, simply because I'm a working full-time parent. The issue that I have is on the Wednesday. She was pulled into because she was going to the learning center and was pulled and told that she could not be in the learning center and had to come for the third period, which is at 9 o'clock. But that posed an issue. And so the 3 options they gave us was that she would have to disenroll, switch her schedule, or pack it and put the dual enrollment course towards the end, which still was an issue for us. I did meet with the principal. I did email the board because on Monday she had to take an Uber, and I wasn't comfortable with that. So I don't feel like, as parents who is paying taxes and whose child is excelling, should be given an option where they don't have any supervision, so they can't be in the learning center. So if we can try to figure out some type of resolve for future, I would most appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. And I believe some folks have been working with you.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Katie Allen, and she's been exceptional. And then also the curriculum director, Brian Campbell, he also
Carl
called.
Campbell's been in, all right, so.
Yes, he's been
that's the
amazing.
process.
So yes, so some clarity would be most useful and helpful overall. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming this evening. Our next public participant is Ms. Karen Parham.
Good evening. My name is Karen Parham, and I am the CEO of the Freedom to Read Coalition of Columbia County. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. Well, I came here just to speak about play cards, but to address what was going on earlier, it's my understanding that according to Georgia law, an actual parent that has students in the school is the only individuals who can challenge books. So I just wanted to bring that up. So as you may know, our county has recently decided to leave the Greater Clarksville Regional Library System and will be forming its own county regional board. With this transition, our organization believes that this could be an excellent opportunity to implement a program through Georgia Public Library Service that would greatly benefit our students. So this program is the Student Play Card. I provided you with a handout about this program. It's actually just a printout from their website. So the Student Play Cards program allows students to use their student ID as their library card, providing access to books and materials across the entire Pines network with no late fees. So 53 other districts in Georgia, including Richmond and Burke, have already implemented the system. So for families who are concerned with their students having that level of access, there is an opt-out option available. So we are encouraging you to learn more about this program and to reach out to the county to explore bringing this valuable resource to our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Parham. And our next public participant is Caitlin Roman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everyone's time. I'm here this evening with my wife to continue to advocate for our daughter and for other students within the district, just like our daughter. We've tried to work in good faith with the district for several years now and have reached the point where we have unfortunately lost faith and confidence in the district. Unfortunately, our sweet daughter has been dealt a difficult hand. She is smart and capable. However, she requires support to manage severe symptoms of her disability so that she can access her education. Last year, we had those supports and they worked near flawlessly. Unfortunately, this year, the district has chosen to implement a new practice which will deny our child supports that were absolutely critical to her last year. We are devastated that this decision was made without our input. We're devastated that the district, again, broke our trust and violated our rights by making changes without us being aware to a legal document. We're devastated that the decisions of an IEP committee that was legal and conducted in accordance with federal law and district policy can be so easily overturned by a new practice that no one can show me in writing. And most importantly, we're devastated that our daughter is not receiving the support she needs to be safe and successful in the classroom. I'd encourage every parent of a child with an IEP in this district to request a copy of that IEP and carefully review it. At some point between the months of March and August of this year, our child's IEP was changed to remove really important and critical information from it, including supports. When we identified this issue and brought it forward to the district's attention, we were told it was a clerical error. If a clerical error can happen to us, it can happen to any parent of a student with an IEP. I've encouraged the district to conduct a thorough investigation, not only into how something like this could happen in the first place, but into every other student's IEP to make sure that no other students are negatively impacted by such errors. District leadership appears unbothered and unconcerned by this very serious violation of our rights. Members of the board, we request your assistance in reviewing this matter, specifically to to determine if a clerical error did occur or if it was intentional. And to review all of the IEPs to ensure that no other errors occurred that could negatively affect other kids. Over the past 4 years, we've continually seen the district manipulate data and inaccurately document meeting minutes in an effort to limit supports. We've seen leadership trample and silence the voices of school-level staff along with parents who have the greatest awareness of what these kids need on a day-to-day basis to be successful. This system allows the district to deny any supports they don't feel like providing, independent of what the student actually needs. When your leadership so clearly displays questionable or absent ethics, when it is so blatantly obvious that their primary goal is not to serve children, it is incumbent upon all of you to take back the authority and latitude that you have so freely given them.
Thank you, Ms. Rowe.
And to be more involved. Do better.
All right, that concludes our public participation this evening.
Motion that we retire to executive session to discuss personnel, legal, and real estate matters. Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this time we're going to go into executive session and then we'll return after that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I cannot get
Chairman, I make the motion that you execute an affidavit in accordance with state law, affirming that no subject was discussed during executive session that violated open meetings law, state of Georgia.
Second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? All right, I'll sign the affidavit.
Make motion to, the personnel sheet is discussed in executive session be approved. Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you.
I have
Go ahead.
So I attended the foundation meeting on Tuesday, I do believe, and I know we're going to bring them for recognition on 9/9. Good information. We talked about fundraising and just some events that will be coming up in the future. So it was a good meeting. A lot of people attended as far as the committee. So nice meeting. Not a lot to share, but I'll let you some of the information.
I have a few board items. I have 3 policies and procedures I'd like to discuss, and I'd like to revisit our next gen discussion from last meeting.
I'd like to, if these are new matters, what I'd like for you to do is just submit them to the superintendent so they can be vetted and before they're presented at a public meeting. So I'll entertain a motion to
Mr. Chairman,
adjourn.
I still move.
All in favor of adjourning, raise your right hand. All right. All opposed? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.